InfoWars, wars, InfoWars, in the news, the wars, InfoWars, in the news, with the spiritual message, in the news. Okay, today in the news for May the 19th, 2015. That's right, 2015. And we got a lot to talk about today in a little bit of time, so stay tuned. There's tensions that they're hoping and anticipating. At least Obama is anticipating that there'll be tensions that will flare up in Ohio that may cause a riot situation. As a matter of fact, none of the police are able to take any leave or any vacations during this time, just like we've seen in Cleveland, Ohio, before this stuff happened, civil unrest happened, that none of the police were told there that they could take a rest or take any vacation or sick leave to leave at this time. So they canceled all that, so all police are on duty and waiting to see what happens with this verdict. What's going to happen with this man that's on trial, but about this court case about what happened there. So it's going to get pretty interesting in Ohio, in Cleveland, Ohio. It's really nice. We have a reporter out there, Jakari Jackson's out there, and Mr. Dews out there. That's what I call him. He's a cool guy from InfoWars. He's out there, and right now everything's peaceful, is what they report. But that was the night before. That was the night before today. So I think what they're going to do is carry this verdict probably all the way till Friday, and they're going to let it heat up and fester up some more of those like we've seen the ongoing theme, like in Ferguson, and like we saw in Cleveland. And like we're probably going to see here in Ohio, so the sabotagers and the ones that can come in from the outside to stir up debate and infighting and physical wars and gangs can come in there. Because I think, Obama, really the way the theme is, Obama seems to be behind all the looters and all the people that want to mess up the city. He don't seem to be really genuine about, stopping this, not with martial law, but stopping this with other, fractions. Why would they wait till Friday to announce a verdict when they should have already announced it yesterday? We see this ongoing theme, where all these areas like Ferguson, we saw it, we've seen it in Maryland, and now we're going to see it in Cleveland, Ohio, possibly. So, it's like it's like they're baiting this thing to call it. They want a war to happen with the people and the citizens of Ohio. They want people to come in from the outside, because that's what they did in Ferguson. The same thing happened there, and a lot of businesses got looted and burned down to the ground. And same in Cleveland, and same thing as in Baltimore. Probably what they're thinking will happen here essentially in Cleveland, because it's probably the same bait and switch that they're doing here. It's really, really bad, to see that we have a president that is really anti-freedom and anti-democracy and anti-prosperity. We need somebody in the government. I don't care if they're a man or a woman. Gender or sexual orientation doesn't matter. It's what's in here, folks. The heart. That's what matters the most. What your foundational beliefs are. Do you believe in God? You're not a transvestite like Obama's wife. She's got a trans, she's a man that looks like a woman. I mean, she's got the shoulders of a quarterback. I mean, my God. And she's got, somebody said she's got a bump down there. I don't look at her crotch, but some people say they've seen a bump, like a male has a little bump, because we're supposed to have a bump, because generally that's what we have. We have tails and girls don't. So, but that's what I'm going to say, to be clean, because I'm clean. I'm a preacher. So, males always have a tail. Girls do not. But unless they had some kind of sexual orientation or had some kind of hormone therapy, that may be why they look more feminine instead of masculine if they're male. And that's what Obama's wife looks like. She looks really like a transvestite or a trick with a crank. Males that dress like females. And believe me, some females do look really convincing as females, but they're really males. And that's what Obama's wife really is, a transvestite. And, that's why our country has fallen down. He's gay himself. And he's not even really a president, American president. I mean, he says he is. I'm American. But, I mean, is he really? The way he's acting, it doesn't seem like. And then they're encouraging and stirring up violence and recruiting local gangs, recruiting local gangs in the areas to stir up violence. They're saying they're there to arrest. Well, when you have gangs in there and they're there to help ease violence, that's going to create more violence. I mean, studies show that in military manuals. Studies show that even in the Bible. When you have the mob, what happened to Jesus was largely because of that. Why he was killed on the cross had a lot to do with this type of psychology and this type of behavior. That's why he was put on the cross. because people were engineered to hate him. Satan got the people all stirred up, just like Satan's using people again to do that here in America. Satan's behind all this stuff. And I did a paper on Planet X when I was in college. And they're talking about all this stuff, saying a big comet might hit the Earth. Comets hit the Earth all the time in all shapes and sizes, every day. And a lot of them are really small, about the size of your fist. And some of them are really big. I mean, a comet is what formed the Grand Canyon and formed some of the big holes in the ocean, a long time ago. But, when the world was created, after that happened, there have been things that always hit the Earth. But the thing is, they're saying this thing is like going to be the size of a planet it's going to hit, and they think Satan's in that planet. But there's nothing in the Bible that supports this debunked theory. It's just garbage. And the government's put a lot of stock, and the elites and the globalists have put a lot of stock in it. They think it's true. But the Bible does not say anything about it at all. And of course, in legends and literatures, like the Aztecs mention that planet, and Egyptians, but they're not in the Bible. Okay, other people, it can be stories about that, but it's not really true. There's nothing to really show the validity of it. I've looked at the Bible. I studied the Bible up and down, frontwards and backwards every day. And there's nothing in there that contains about a planet that Satan is locked up on and that he's going to unleash his evil power once it crashes into the world with a violent earthquake and throws it out of alignment. No, there's nothing in the Bible that talks about this. The Bible talks about the sun going dark because the buildings may be burning and because of lots of war and lots of people dying and death and destruction, but not because of a thing that hit the earth that was really big. However, something could hit the earth that's really big that could start it all off, and then it could lead to all that. Yes, I mean, there's a possibility, but it's not a dark planet. It could be a huge comet. We don't know. They say they got pictures of it out on the telescope that goes around the earth, the Hubble. They say they got pictures of it off of that. I've seen them, but it looks fake. It could be a piece of a big asteroid. It could be a huge meteor. But it's not a planet. It's round, because asteroids can be round like a planet. They can look like that, but they're not a planet. They're just really huge. We've had close calls, many close calls, where huge planets have come really close to hitting us, but didn't, because God was there to stop it. For some reason it didn't hit us. But there have been some where they were really big and caused a lot of damage. But not enough to interrupt all civilization and kill massive people. But as far as Planet X is concerned, it's not real. It's not something to get all hyped up about or get up, because it's not based on the Bible. There's nothing in the Bible that talks about a black planet. There's nothing in the Bible that talks about Satan being on a planet. The Bible says that Satan is locked up along with the angels that fell out of heaven. We don't know what that number is. A lot of people want to go with the teaching that it's a third, but we don't know that. We know a big number fell out, but we don't know exactly if it was the third. But people teach that. I wouldn't teach that because we're not sure. That's what I teach. We know it was a large amount of number, but there's a lot more angels up in heaven. But I'm not going to go along with that third teaching because we're not really sure. But we do know it's a large number. And the thing is, and they rebelled with Satan, but they're bound up and chained up in darkness, but they're not on no dark planet. Trust me, they could be they're in the earth, bound up. They do believe they're inside the earth, a chamber that's in the earth that holds them until their time is to be released towards the end of the world, because they will be unleashed towards the end a little bit to do mayhem. God will allow them to do mayhem, what He'll allow them to do. And they will do that for a short time, because it does talk about that in Scripture, but it's not coming from another planet that's going to hit us. Okay, I can assure you of that 100%. But a lot of people will come up with all this hocus pocus. And a lot of elites, they're Satanists, and a lot of them and globalists believe this stuff, this nonsense. But it's really erroneous. But they're basing all this, that's why they want martial law, because they think this planet's going to hit, a huge meteor is going to hit. There's rumors of that. But there's no really base full data on that either. But that's what they're basing on, this Black Planet X theory. So, just keep your eyes out and, really be optimistic, because he's not, Satan and all the angels that fell out of heaven with him that in rebellion and mutiny against God, they're not on a planet, okay? They believe they're here inside the earth, locked up somewhere. That's what the Bible says, in a region inside the earth. Doesn't say where, but that's where they say they are locked up in a chamber in the earth, and they cannot get out. And they're chains and they're in darkness. So as far as the planet goes, yeah, there's a planet, but it's not another planet that's going to hit us. It's this planet. But, one day they will be unleashed. But right now, they're still locked up. Same with Satan. He's still locked up. He can still do some things because there's a hierarchy structure. Just like when they're loosened again before God returns to take us away from here, they're going to be able to do things like that again. But God won't. They can't do things unless God allows them to. See, that's the thing. You don't understand. There's a hierarchy structure. God will not allow Satan to do whatever he wants. When he gets out, he can't go, I can do whatever I want. No, he can't. He still has to get approval from God. He's always had to get approval from God. From the very creation of this very world, when it came into existence, he has to get approval. Even in the end of days, he'll have to get approval. He'll be able to do a lot more for a little while. That's where the Antichrist will come. There's a real being. He's alive. And he's the real Antichrist. There have been a lot of people that are Antichrist right now, but they're not the Antichrist. Obama's not the Antichrist. He may be one of the puppets, but he's still an Antichrist too, but he's not like the Satan Antichrist. There's a real satanic being that's going to take the form of a man that really is going to happen, because the Bible talks about that to the T. And that hasn't happened yet, but we believe that he's alive right now, but he hasn't come on the scene yet. And he could come on the scene within a couple of years, or maybe, depends on when the world ends. That's when he's supposed to come, supposed to be here doing all kinds of mayhem for 42 months. It's 7 years or 6 years. And then the Lord, because the Bible actually says that in Revelation. That's a number, but I would take that literally. It's 42 months, which is 6 years. That's 6 times 7. So 6 months, that's 6 years. And, Earth years. So that's what, it's actually in the Bible. So that number there is a literal number of time where they'll be able, it's a short period of time is what that means. And we'll be under some real hellish conditions until the Lord comes back. And a lot of people will die during this time. Like more people in the world will die at this time than any time in world history. Even though a lot of people have died in other events that were like this. But a lot of people will die and be killed, violently and persecuted for no reason during this time. When Satan's being is unleashed. But it will only be for a short period of time. Because a lot of deception will be going on. That's why I say read your Bible. Always know what the Scripture says, because when this person comes on the scene, it's going to confuse the best scholars. Some people are going to not know what's up and down because they're not reading their Bible. A lot of people think they know the Bible and think they study the Word every day. And they might, but they don't study as much as they should. And if they did, then they would really know the counterfeit when he really comes on the scene. And I think a lot of people are going to be swayed and really confused and misled, because the Bible says that too, because a lot of people aren't doing that. They're not studying their Word daily. They're not having that relationship and that walk closeness with God like they should. Their life indicates that. They're not helping other people. They're not giving to causes that are doing the same thing, like our cause, for example. They're not helping people. They're not helping people that need things. They don't have the heart of Jesus. And they say, well, I have problems too, and I don't care about you. A lot of people have that attitude even in the church today. That's what we're talking about. You don't have God in your life, you're going to be like that, because that's part of Satan. Satan makes you be like that. You get conditioned by society. You give in and you pick up the behaviors of the world. That's part of the reprogramming process of Satan, because Satan is all around. He's real. He's even in your church. Wherever you go to church, he's there, right there, attending with you. He's at every church, no matter what denomination they are. And he's got his foot in a lot of them, because a lot of them will let him come in when they should not have let him come in, because they compromise on things. And you can't compromise when it comes to God's word or teaching. And that's what's wrong with a lot of churches they have. And they don't recognize the beast, the head, the snake. But he's in your church, and he's alive and well. And he's got a lot of your congregation people frazzled and confused. And he may even have you as a preacher confused. When this being a Antichrist comes on the scene, you're going to be confused too if you're not studying. I'll see you later. This is Michael DeSilva from InfoWars. InfoWars, donate. Come on. InfoWars, donate. We need your money. Come on, we need your money. We need to do it for the ministry, independent media. Donate so we can do more. So we can do more for you. You donate. Show your support now in a ministry that's working for you. InfoWars News. Help us out so we can help you to do more. Help us out. out. We can do more for the Lord. Help us out so we can get more interviewers on here. It costs money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Help us out. Help us out so we can help you. The new independent media, Info News. In the news, the Silvis' media, working for you. Why don't you make a donation today? Subscribe down below at the low of this video and just hit click on that subscribe button. Tell friends about us and refer people to us. And also get involved with us. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you'd like us to improve on. I'm Michael Da Silva signing off from New Hunter Church of Christ, Evangelist. Shalom. See you later.